YouTube, welcome to New Scroll Hole. Today we're going to get into some, who is it? Let's see, where is he? Some news on Marilyn Manson. Why are we discussing Marilyn Manson today? Because he is friends with some other people that connect to some other things. So let's see who that is. Guys, remember this guy? Damien Echols from the West Memphis Three. Did you guys hear the news on Marilyn Manson yet? Well, the actress Evan Rachel Wood is alleging that Marilyn Manson basically groomed, this is allegedly, tortured her with a device called a violet wand, which is a long, like a magical wand, I guess you could say, but at the end of it has a taser and would tase her allegedly after binding her hand and foot. So what are the similarities here? Well, we had Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, and Damien Echols. Johnny Depp was the forerunner in getting Damien Echols and the West Memphis Three out of jail. And now we have these allegations coming out about Marilyn Manson grooming Evan Rachel Wood at 17, doing non-consensual, I guess, I would call it S&M. Is it called BDSM? But she says it's non-consensual. So the weird connection here is that Damien spent, I guess it was like 20 years in jail for the deaths of these boys. Christopher Byers, Michael Moore, and Stevie Branch, who were all 8 years old. They were riding their bikes in the Robin Hills Forest in West Memphis, and then came across a group of people. Hi, Scotland. These three boys came across a group that tortured them. The details of their deaths are very disturbing, very, very disturbing. They were 3 8-year-old boys. They were hogtied. They were found hands and feet tied behind their back like a hog, literally helpless. One of the boys' skull was stomped in, and I believe it was Christopher Byers. My cat's meowing. My cat says hi, everyone. Christopher Byers. He had his genitalia removed, and they were brutally, brutally slain. And West Memphis is not far from this area where a lot of crimes happen. So I found it fascinating that Marilyn Manson is being accused of grooming mentally. Evan Rachel Wood claims that he would sleep deprive her to keep her in a state of confusion. He would not feed her. He would feed her drugs. He would feed her cocaine, she claims, to keep her awake for days on end. He had a room inside the house that was, this is allegedly, he had a room inside the house that he would lock her in that was pitch black so that she would be completely disoriented and not know what time of day it was. So she was constantly tired. She was constantly being tied up and tased with this violet wand, it's called. A violet wand. I've never seen one, but I'm assuming that it's something like a taser from what I've read. But the weird connection is that Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, and Damien Eccles all have matching tattoos. And they really, when they were asked about it in different interviews, they said, it's a secret. We can't tell you what it means. So I thought that pretty odd. And they are also, Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp were friends, who is an author. He's not alive anymore. But at one time, he lived in Colorado. And he was running for something like that. But the author and loathing and Johnny Depp adrenochrome. And I don't know if you guys know what that is, but if you don't, you should look it up. And he also, there was reports of different movie makers. A movie maker had come out and said Hunter S. Thompson offered him $100,000, I think it was in the 70s, to film a snuff film. So, these are just things that have been out in the ether for years now. And I just find it fascinating that Marilyn Manson, who I always gave the side eye to, I always was side-eyeing this dude, is now being accused of not only mind controlling, mind manipulating, drugging, sleep deprivation, not allowing to eat. Oh, what other things did he do? Evan Rachel Wood also claims that Marilyn Manson had her at 17. She was drinking underage. He was feeding her drugs, and claims that a friend of his, he asked her, or she was forced into acts at this club where they were all at. And she says it was a word I can't say on here, but, not consensual. So I just find that to be an interesting connection, and it all connects to, like I said, Hunter S. Thompson, who was running for office in Colorado, who is an author and writes about adrenochrome, and was running for office in Colorado. I just think that's an interesting connection to, let's see, let's get rid of this guy. I can't have too many pictures up. But it brings us back to Colorado. I mean, I just find it very odd. Hold on, I'm bringing pictures up, guys. Who also was killed in Colorado? Do you guys remember JonBenet Ramsey? Remember JonBenet Ramsey? I'm going to read you guys some stuff that I found interesting. Let's see. Where's the case? Here's a picture of the West Memphis Three back in the day. And hang on, guys. Okay, so these are some things that stuck out to me. Stevie Branch was the son of Stephen and Pamela Branch, who divorced when he was an infant. His mother was awarded custody and later married Terry Hobbs. A lot of people blame Terry Hobbs for the murder of these boys, and I was a child watching this whole thing go down on TV. I disagree with that. I'm not of that mindset at all. But anyway, let's just continue on. Branch was 8 years old, 4 feet 2 inches. 4 plus 2 is 6, right? Weight, 65 pounds, had blonde hair. He was last seen wearing blue jacket, white t-shirt, and riding a bike. He was an honor student. He lived with his mom. Then we go on to Christopher Byers. Christopher Byers was born to Melissa Defer and Ricky Murray. His parents divorced when he was 4 years old. Shortly afterward, his mother married John Mark Byers. Now, if you guys know anything about the West Memphis Three, you will remember John Mark Byers. He was that guy that he played, I guess, the redneck, quote unquote, that would come out and always be on TV calling the West Memphis Three. Them Satanists killed my boy. He was that guy. Now that guy is the one I side eye. But again, you're looking at the numbers. You know what I mean? They were 8 years old. Let's see, 4 feet tall. 52 pounds. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 is completion. These boys were murdered so heinously. It was really, really sad because there's no justice. I mean, the West Memphis Three did spend 20 years in jail. But when they came out, what happened? They came out. They were welcomed with open arms into Hollywood. And Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson walked Damien Echols down the red carpet. And if anyone knows anything about symbology, then you would know that the red carpet is walking in the blood of the Goyim. And what that means, I mean, you can figure out what that means. But I take that as another meaning. I take it as a deeper meaning. I take it as they're walking in the blood of humans. Walking the red carpet. That is a initiation into the Hollywood scene. Okay, where else are we going here, guys? Who is this? Oh, this is the story. Okay, hold on. The West Memphis Three, not the West Memphis Three, but the boys, Jonathan, Christopher, and the other little boy, I forget his name. They were all killed on Cinco de Mayo, guys, which is a high day for murders. What does it say? Around 1:45 p.m., juvenile parole officer Stevie Jones spotted a boy's black shoe floating in a muddy creek that led to a major drainage canal in Robin Hood Hills. A subsequent search of the ditch revealed the bodies of 3 boys. They had been stripped naked and were hog-tied. Imagine that. Anyone who has an 8-year-old child, an 8-year-old grandchild, an 8-year-old brother or sister, imagine them riding their bikes innocently through the woods in a place that they always play and coming across this situation where someone bigger than them just completely took away any way for them to escape by hog-tying them. Imagine the fear those babies went through. They were hog-tied with their own shoelaces, their right ankles tied to their right wrists behind their back. The same with their left arms and legs. Their clothing was found in the creek, and some of it twisted around sticks that had been thrust into the muddy ditch bed. Now, from what I remember, I can't remember the exact name, but they called this place in Robin Hood Hills like the Devil's Lair or the Devil's something. But it had a nickname. So I also want to note that there were 2, I think they said 2 like Mexican-looking men that were in the area at the time. And the only reason I bring that up is because if you know anything about the, what is the name of that group? The cult. The Finders Cult. If you guys know anything about this worldwide cult called the Finders Cult that traffic children, you'll note that they use vans. They use... Usually, it seems weird, there was other children that were kidnapped with a white van, and, you know, it looked like people from over the border, I guess, that they were using. Like they were trafficking from America maybe to South America. I'm not really sure because you don't get a lot of detail on it, but it's similar. Let's see. Christopher Byers had lacerations to various parts of his body and mutilation of his scrotum and penis. Now, that is the boy whose father played the redneck. On every time you'd see something come up on TV, you'd see this guy, this Byers dude, talking about the West Memphis Three and really like just doing too much. You know what I mean? He had like the mullet. He was just really creepy looking. And my child self, a child self watching this on the news was like, ooh, he's creepy. He gave me the freaking creeps. And the other thing to note about him was he was against the West Memphis Three, and then he flip-flopped. So when you see people flip-flopping, you know something's up. The autopsy by forensic pathology Frank J. Peretti indicated that Byers died of multiple injuries, while Moore and Branch died of multiple injuries with drowning. So I guess Christopher Byers was the one that had his privates mutilated, which is very sad. But I just find it fascinating that this dude's in the freaking news for doing mind control, y'all. That is what they call shattering someone's mind when you do sleep deprivation, food control. You're not only sleep depriving someone, but you're depriving them of food. So now that puts them already in a confused state, right? And then all this other stuff with this violent wand. I keep calling it a violent wand, but it's not violent. It's violet. A violet wand is what Evan Rachel Wood alleges Marilyn Manson used. But he's buddies. He's buddies with Damien Echols. And a phrase that my mom always said that sticks with me to this day: birds of a feather flock together. Now, I know Damien Echols seems very sweet. I look him up once in a while, and he's got the southern accent. He's got the rocker look. I could see where women might even find him attractive or whatever. And he seems very sweet. He seems very sweet. When you listen to him talk, he seems like a sweetheart. But there's something up with him being friends with this one and Johnny Depp, who also, Johnny Depp, has been in and out of the news with his ex-wife. Very violent. I mean, they were dragging their divorce through the mud. So I don't know what you guys think of Marilyn Manson, but I think he is a handler, in my opinion, as is Johnny Depp. And I kind of feel like when they got out of jail, the West Memphis Three, and Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp walked Damien Echols down the red carpet again, which represents the blood of the Goyim. That was like an initiation of some sort. Comment if you agree. Who else do I have in here? All right, so back to JonBenet. So the JonBenet murder, also in Colorado. Father, also a multimillionaire of a huge corporation. And with corporations, you have shareholders. You don't have, it's not like a person that's starting a business. You have people with millions of dollars that are like buy into these corporations that are worth billions of dollars, multi-billion-dollar businesses. And, they have CEOs and presidents and whatnot. But if anything happens with the business, it doesn't affect their personal money or anything, because it's not like they're responsible for this business. They're invested in this business. And a lot of times what they do with these corporations is they'll have other shadow corporations buy them out or whatnot. But JonBenet was the beauty queen in Colorado that I remember watching a documentary about the police woman that was the first one on the scene. And when she said, now this is what the female police officer at the JonBenet murder site, who was murdered on Christmas Eve, I believe, right? And the numbers of that are all crazy too with the gematria. But the first police officer, was a female officer that was on the scene, claimed that when they were searching the house, which she was already had a bad vibe when she walked into the house. She said when John Ramsey came up the steps with JonBenet in his arms, she caught his eyes and she knew in her gut that that the person that she put it like that at that moment she knew what happened to JonBenet and who did it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Then you have Patsy with the letter. Patsy Ramsey wrote, her handwriting matched the handwriting of this very long note from the alleged kidnappers. But the weird thing with JonBenet Ramsey was she also had a mark. She had a mark on her, and they finally figured out that it was from a taser. I want to say it was like a couple of years. I figured out that the mark on her body was from a taser. What was Marilyn Manson? Back to him. What was he using on Evan Rachel Wood? A violet wand, which is a taser. Interesting. Interesting, right, guys? So, you have the West Memphis Three, Buddy Wuddies with Marilyn Manson, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson were Buddy Wuddies with this author named Hunter S. Thompson, who ran for, I want to say mayor, I could be wrong, something in Colorado there. And he was talking about adrenochrome. Watch the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas if you don't believe me. Johnny Depp plays the character Hunter S. Thompson. He plays that character. And Benicio del Toro is also in it. They started together, and they're basically high on acid the whole time. But at some point, when they're driving through the desert, they arrive in Vegas, and they go into one of the casinos, and Johnny Depp is talking. They're drinking adrenochrome, and they're tripping on it. And yeah. So, I mean, another weird connection. Guys, what do you think of that? Then you have, let's see. So you have these little girls. You have this little girl. Let me get rid of some of these pictures here, guys. Hold on. So you have Bella and Celeste. You have JonBenet. And then you have Christopher Byers, Michael Moore, and Stevie Branch. Tortured. Oh, another thing, guys. I've been working on so many videos, but it's like too much information. I've been doing a lot of research. Something with the oil batteries that the girls were put in. I wanted to tell you guys that I found. This is crazy. Crazy. First of all, do you remember when Nikki Kessinger in her law enforcement witness interview was speaking on how much money Chris Watts made, and she guesstimated or said, I think it's around $80,000, and I think Shanann gets pretty close, right? Well, did you know that the job that Christopher Watts did is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world? And no, he didn't make only $80,000. He was making upwards of $180,000, plus receiving gift cards from Anna Darko, like free credit cards, right? That he was paying for his mistress to go out and eat dinner with, right? But the thing about it is, oh, guys, I don't know. I'm going to give you a little piece. Okay. The oil batteries are one of the most dangerous jobs in the world because not only are they highly explosive, highly flammable, but just even being around them and near them can cause sudden death. So I had an idea. I was looking it up. There had been several deaths, guys. Several deaths since 2012, I believe, up until now. Well, up until 2018 when Anna Darko sold their company to another company. But Anna Darko, there were several deaths at the point where the girls' bodies were put in that hatch from workers that were working that job for many years. They were skilled in what they were doing. And if you open that hatch without some kind of face mask on, the fumes that come out of it instantly eat the air and cause sudden death. So it's almost like a strangulation in a sense. It literally takes the air from your lungs. You can't breathe. The noxious fumes that come out of those oil batteries are so, they instantly can kill you. So what I found interesting was Chris Watts does not strike me as a guy that has any kind of, I don't know how to say this. I don't think he has the balls to kill his kids. It's kind of what I feel like. And I was thinking, did he walk Bella and Celeste up to that ramp, open the hatch with a mask on, and just let them die from the fumes? Could that have been a thing? I don't know. I do ask myself that. And the other thing I was thinking about, which I'm going to make a video about, a lot of people, especially the police, when I'm watching the police law enforcement interviews, keep reiterating what a great, nice guy Chris Watts is. This isn't like, who, Chris Watts, we can't even imagine you doing such a thing. Well, how do we know that Chris Watts wasn't abusing Shanann? He was already gaslighting, mentally abusing her. He was keeping her in a state of constant confusion by telling her one thing, acting another way, right? That is chaos magic right there. Mind manipulation. So how do we know if Chris Watts wasn't physically abusing Shanann in some kind of way or verbally abusing her? And how do we know he wasn't doing something to those girls? How do we know he wasn't drugging those girls for an extended amount of time? How do we know that when he wanted to go see his mistress and Shanann was working, let's say, he wasn't giving them something? Because I think we're all in agreement that Nikki Kessinger and Chris Watts go way back. At least to 2017. At least to 2017. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Let's see. These demons all have to give up. Yeah. Yes, that's true, Annette. That is so true. Well, I'm going to get into some more things in a video. This live is getting long, but I'm going to get into some more things that I found that connected these cases and also more things I found out about Chris Watts' job. My new theory that kind of is forming with this whole thing. You guys are going to trip out on the stuff that I found. It is dark. It is in a dark, if you catch what I'm swaying. Well, anyway, I just wanted to jump on because I haven't posted a video because I've been doing research. I've been researching, but I have a lot of new stuff coming up. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'm going to leave it off here. Like, subscribe, share this on Facebook, share it with a friend. And comment your thoughts on what do you think of Evan Rachel Wood airing Marilyn Manson out and how Marilyn Manson is connected to Johnny Depp, who's connected to Damien Echols, who is one of the West Memphis Three. And also they're connected to Hunter Thompson, who is not alive anymore. He's deceased, who is a famous author who speaks on adrenochrome. And the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is the movie where it's talked about. Johnny Depp plays the Hunter S. Thompson character. Actually, when Hunter S. Thompson died, he wanted his ashes shot out of a cannon, so Johnny Depp was the one to do it. And I think that Hunter S. Thompson was into some really dark things that connect not only Colorado to West Memphis, but connect Colorado to West Memphis, to Arkansas, to Washington, D.C., to all over, if you catch what I'm saying. Well, anyway, guys, leave your thoughts. You guys have a blessed day or a blessed evening whenever you watch this, wherever you are in the world. Shout out to everyone that supports this channel. I love you guys. And I will be back with some really crazy stuff that I found in a video soon. Love y'all.